Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the video. Welcome to my garage. In this video, we're going to start taking apart the Wratchet chassis, but the video is not actually going to be about that. The video is going to be about, as I take it apart, I'm going to weigh all of the pieces just so that I can jot it down and have an idea of what all the individual components weigh. So what I've done is I've got two scales. This is a really nice scale that I used to use when I would be weighing in and out refrigerant on air conditioning equipment. However, the capacity of this is only 125 pounds, so it's pretty limited. And then I just picked up on Amazon this scale. This is a really cheap scale. It was only, I think, $38, something ridiculously cheap. And its quality matches that. It's not very high quality. But I will put a link in the description to this scale if you want to check it out. And if Amazon has this scale, I don't know if they do or not, but if they do, I'll put a link in there as well. Remember, this is a real nice high quality scale. This one's really old. This one's probably 15 years old, but this one's real high quality. So when I'm weighing things that are under 125 pounds, I'm going to use this. On the heavier items, I'm going to use this because allegedly the capacity of this scale is 440 pounds. So I'll be flipping between these two scales based on that. And then as I do that, I'm going to jot all this stuff down, and then when I'm done, I'll put it into a little spreadsheet and I'll put it onto my shared folder with a link in the description just so you guys can check it out. It's kind of cool information just to know how much this stuff weighs. Obviously, I'll get an actual weight of Wratchet when he's done so that we know how much he actually weighs, but as I'm going back, if I want to target certain pieces that seem a little heavy, this will be useful information. If not, it's just fun information. So I'm just going to start tearing the chassis apart. I'll make kind of like a little pile of parts, and when I think I have a good pile of parts, I'll set the camera up on the scales here and we'll just weigh them, write it down, and I think it'll be kind of fun and kind of interesting to see what this stuff weighs. Alright, I got a good pile of parts now, so let's burn through this so that I can set these off to the side. And let's start with a front lower control arm. And I got the good scale set up because this should be under 125 pounds, obviously. Alright, that weighs 21 pounds, 6 ounces. Alright, let's do a front upper control arm. This feels heavier. It's got a little bit of hardware in it, but 22 pounds, 8 ounces. Let's see what the front spindle with hub weighs. Alright, so this is the front spindle with the hub. At some point I'll take the hubs out so that I can find out how much just the hubs weigh, but for now I'm just going to weigh this as a unit. 22 pounds, 15 ounces. Just by picking that up, I would have thought that was like 35 pounds. Apparently I'm getting weaker and thinking that things weigh more than they do. 22 pounds, 16 ounces. All right, this is surprisingly fun. All right, let's do a front shock absorber. So this is going to be a front shock absorber, 2.5 inch body, 12 inch travel. 15 pounds, 15.5 ounces. I'm going to call that 16 pounds. Front shock. All right, now we got the 4-inch bump stops. Is 4 pounds, 14 ounces. Is that even possible? I mean, I would have said that's 10 pounds. My definition of weight is apparently way off. A couple videos back, this used to be my upper link. And I made this upper link, which is more equipped for the bump stop. And a lot of people, including myself, was curious as to what the weight difference is. So let's weigh both of them and find out. I put our 2x4 on here, zero out the scale. Alright, so the upper link tube is 5 pounds, 1 ounce. Now the new upper link with the pad is 9 pounds, 2 ounce. So it adds 4 pounds. It almost doubled the weight, but it probably tripled the strength. Rotor. One of the brake rotors hasn't been drilled out yet, but either way, let's just find out how much the single thickness rotor weighs. 10 pounds, 3 ounces. Let's see how much the rear axle weighs. My U-joint rear axle comes in at 18 pounds, 7 ounces. Now we got a rear spindle. Rear spindle with the hub. I don't feel like unbolting the hubs right now because those are torqued down in there. So maybe I'll get a weight later on separating the hubs. But for now, rear spindle with hub is 22 pounds, 3 ounces. Almost exactly what the front spindle was. Front steering tie rod. Nothing fancy there. 4 pounds, 4 ounces. Willwood aluminum 4-piston caliper is 4 pounds, 3 ounces. And then we've got the rear bypass, which is 2.5-inch body, 16-inch travel. This is pretty heavy. We got 21 pounds, 8 ounces. Then we've got the light bar. And then I think I'll just kind of balance this up there. Woo, I got it. That is 16 pounds, 15 ounces. So when you put a light bar on there, you know you're adding some weight. So you really only want it on there if you need it. All right. See if I can get this up here without breaking my back, but I want to see how much the tire and the wheel are. This is the 255/85/16. Should have done that. Should have done that on the floor. Okay. So it's 76 pounds, 4 ounces. That's a tire on a 16-inch Tacoma wheel. All right, a couple more items now. Let's do the 8-gallon fuel-safe fuel cell. Now this is totally empty. It's never had any fluid in it at all. It's completely bone dry. And this is 27 pounds, 6 ounces. Now we've got the rear lower control arm. That is 27 pounds, 3 ounces. We've got the Pro-Am shifter. That is 4 pounds exactly. And that's with a U-joint on it. Then we've got the rear coil carrier. This is a 2.5-inch body, 16-inch travel. That is 13 pounds, 5 ounces. If you had all of the springs on there, so you got the 2 springs, the collar, and the slider, and those are 17 pounds, 12 ounces. Which doesn't surprise me because these are 400-pound springs. These springs are pretty serious. All right, we're still cooking along. Let's see how much the steering rack weighs. That is 10 pounds, 12 ounces. And let's see how much the bucket seats weigh. 24 pounds, 15.7 ounces, so just going to call that 25 pounds. All right, let's see how much some of the fiberglass panels weigh. This is one of the door panels. That is 6 pounds, 4 ounces. And fiberglass quarter panel is 4 pounds, 10 ounces. That makes sense because the door is really thick up on the top where you sit on it when you get in and out. And then all the pieces that make up the fiberglass footwell area, I'm just going to weigh all those together. And just figure that is the fiberglass bulkhead or footwell, whatever you want to call it. And those all together are 13 pounds, 4 ounces. Okay, so to weigh the roof, because I don't think I'll be able to just set the roof on there, I'm going to weigh myself, find out what the scale says I weigh, then I'm going to weigh myself holding the roof, and then just subtract myself. Wow, that is really inaccurate. I typically weigh about 172 pounds. And this is saying I weigh 154, so that is crazy inaccurate, but either way. All right, so according to this, I weigh 154. All right, so now it says 164, so let's assume that this weighs 10 pounds, which is about right. There's like nothing here. The roof is actually really lightweight. All right, I got the J35 right above the scale. Scale is zeroed. I think I got some cribbing here that it can sit on. And this scale is supposedly good to 440 pounds, and this J series does not weigh 440 pounds, so let me see if I can get it sitting on there. Alright, it says it's 264 pounds. Bear in mind, this scale was 20 pounds inaccurate to my own weight, so I don't know how accurate that 264 is, but it's kind of a cool benchmark at this point. It's a totally empty block. There's really no intake, there's no alternator, there's no oil in it, there's no flywheel on it. It's just a block and heads. So it's entirely possible that as it is right now, it only weighs 264 pounds. But either way, for now, we're going to mark that down as 264 pounds. And because we have it here, let's get a weight of the alternator. The alternator is 13 pounds. All right, we're getting close here. Finally got the transaxle out. It was a little bit rough, but it did come out, and now that I've taken it out once, I'll make a couple of changes for the next time, and it'll go in a little bit easier. So I'm going to somehow prop this transaxle up on this 2x4 and get it onto the scale. All right, 154 pounds, which is pretty accurate because from Welding they say it's 165 pounds, and this doesn't have any fluids in it yet, so 154 pounds, right on the money. Not too bad. All right, we're almost there. The last piece. I'm so tired. I've been doing this all day. It's awesome, and it's been a lot of fun, but it's like a CrossFit workout. The chassis is now off of the build platform, and it's hanging from the loft with straps at either end. I'm going to take both of the scales. I'm going to slide one scale under the rear. I'm going to slide one scale under the front, and then we'll see what she weighs. Alright, so apparently the front was more than 125 pounds, because when I set it on that scale that doesn't go over 125, it just went to error. So I just set the front on a 2x4, and I set the rear on this scale, and it's coming in at 203 pounds. So then I'm going to jack that up, and I'm going to swap the scale with the 2x4, and I'll weigh the front. Alright, and the front is 195, so wow, the front and rear of the frames are pretty even. The chassis collectively came in at 398 pounds. That's not too bad. Obviously it's probably going to be 500 pounds by the time it's done. There's still some tubes in the bottom that need to go in for some triangulation. There's probably at least 50 pounds of weld that's going to go in here, because I'd say 75% of it is just tack welded at this point. So there's going to be some weight added there, but I don't think it'll get over 500 pounds, which that's not too bad. The engine came out pretty much no problem. It'll have a clutch and a flywheel on it next time, so it'll take up a little bit more room, but honestly, I really didn't have any problem with space. The transaxle was a different story. The transaxle was difficult to get out of there, and one thing I never even thought about is my engine cage is actually shorter than the transaxle. So when the transaxle came out, I had to go about this far and then kind of turn it and rotate it out of there. So that was a little bit tricky. But that was the first time I ever took it out. When I put it back in, after all this is welded, I'm going to put some wood cribbing in here so that you can actually set the transaxle in there and slide it most of the way into place, and then take the cribbing out and then set it down and bolt it into the sections there. And I did all this just with a come along, which was horrible. When I put the engine and a transaxle back in, I'll have my electric winch mounted up there, so this stuff will be a lot easier. So now it's set up to be welded, fully welded. I'll probably spend most of the week just welding all this stuff up. I'm going to weld up as much as I can. There's a couple things I'm not going to weld up because I might be changing them to something different, but I'd say 95% of it is going to get welded up. And then when I reassemble it, it should be a roller. I'm not planning on putting the build platform back on there. It should no longer be on the build platform. But that was a good day's work. I'm super tired. I'm going to go in, take a shower, and probably just watch some TV. It's in the evening now. I worked on this all day, although the wife and I did go out for dinner. Either way, I hope this was fun for you guys. I have this chicken scratch list right now. I'm going to put this in a spreadsheet, and I will put it in my shared folder and put a link in there if you want to check it out. I'll probably add all of this up just to give me an idea of what Wratchet weighs right now, understanding he's going to get significantly heavier as he gets a radiator and just more components all over the place, but that'll at least give me a little bit of an idea of what he weighs right now. So I hope you guys liked the video, something a little bit different, which is kind of cool. Thanks for watching. Hope it's helping you guys or motivating you or whatever with your projects, and I hope to see you on the next one. Take care.